Good morning, students. So today we will be discussing about the magnetic field due to a current element or our Biot-Savart law. We know that whenever a current carrying conductor will be there, that conductor will produce magnetic field around it. Then what will be the value of that magnetic field? That can be calculated by using this Biot-Savart law. So here we have taken a conductor named XY. Let I be the current flowing from X to Y. Then we have to find out a magnetic field around this conductor at any point. So for that, let us consider a small element of length dl of this conductor. Initially we will calculate what will be the magnetic field due to a small element, then we will extend it over the entire length of the conductor. So this is the small element dl, and let here another point is present P. At this point we need to find out what is the magnetic field due to this small element. So what is the value of dP here we need to calculate. Let this is the axis of the conductor, and let the point P is situated at a distance of r from the element dl, and let theta be the angle made by the position vector r with the axis of the length element. So now, according to Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field at this point, the magnitude of the magnetic field dB will be directly proportional to the current I flowing through the conductor. The magnitude of the magnetic field is also directly proportional to the length element dl. dB is also directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the position vector and the current element, this one theta, so sine theta, and this dB is also inversely proportional to the square of the separation distance between them. dB is inversely proportional to the square of the distance, this r square. So the magnitude of this magnetic field at this point P depends upon these four elements: what is the current, what is the length element, what is the sine of the angle, and the square of the separation distance, inversely proportional to. So when you will combine these four, then you will get dB magnitude is proportional to I dl sine theta by r square. Or if you remove the proportionality symbol, then you will give a proportionality constant, then our dB will be equal to k I dl sine theta by r square. And here the value of the k is our mu naught by 4 pi. So by putting the value of k, you will get dB will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. This is the magnitude one. This is the magnitude of the magnetic field at a point P which is situated at a distance r from the length element. That dB is coming mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. If I will express it in the vector form, then in vector form you will get this dP vector will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi ideal sin theta by r square into r cap. Where r cap is the unit vector which will indicate the direction of this magnetic field. And we know that a unit vector is represented by the vector divided by its magnitude. So here you will get that will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. Directly I am writing, you will get dp will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. Because this r cap will be r vector by r magnitude, so here it will become r cube, and we know that a cross b is our ab sin theta. So you can see that here r and dl is there. This is r and this one is the dl one. In between them the angle is theta. So this is the cross product of dl cross r. Here the direction of the magnetic field is determined by our right hand thumb rule or the screw rule. The direction of this dl cross r will be the direction of the magnetic field. So you will take dl cross r, then it will be perpendicular to the plane containing these two vectors r and dl. So remember that the direction of the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane which contains this dl and r. So this is our Biot-Savart law, and the magnitude is given by dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi ideal sin theta by r square. In vector form, dB vector is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. So this is all about our Biot-Savart law. So now we will do a comparison between this electrostatic field and the magnetic field. You can see that here both dB, that magnetic field is inversely proportional to square of the separation distance, and in our Coulomb's force F is given by K Q1 Q2 by R square. So here also in Coulomb's force also the force is inversely proportional to square of the separation distance, and here the magnetic field is also inversely proportional to the square of the separation distance. That means these two obeys the inverse square law. Then coming to the another one, you can see that both this electric field and the magnetic field, both E and B, are vector fields. Both are vectors. Then very important one, we just see, in case of a electric field, whenever a charge will be there, it will produce electric field around it. And we know that the charge is a scalar one. So we can say that the electric field is produced by a scalar source. The charge one is the scalar one. But whereas this magnetic field B, this magnetic field is produced by this ideal element, current carrying element, which one is a vector one. So the electric field is produced by a scalar source, whereas the magnetic field is produced by a vector source. This is the difference between electric field and the magnetic field. Then okay, I have forgotten. You see, this mu naught which is present here, this mu naught is the permeability of the medium. So now I will find out the relation between mu naught and epsilon naught. You can see, if I write mu naught into epsilon naught, in the next step I'll just multiply 4 pi and I will divide a 4 pi. Okay, and the value of these two quantities, we know that from electrostatics, the value of this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is our 9 into 10 to the power 9 with units, and the magnitude of the value of this mu naught by 4 pi, you remember this is our 10 to the power minus 7, 10 to the power minus 7 with unit Tesla meter into ampere inverse. So you will put the values here, you will get mu naught epsilon naught will be equal to 1 by 9 into 10 to the power 9 because the reciprocal one into 10 to the power minus 7. So this will be written like 1 by 9 into 10 to the power 16 or this mu naught epsilon naught is equal to, I can say 1 by 3 into 10 to the power 8 whole square. This will be 9 into 10 to the power 16, and we know that this one is our c, speed of the light. So I can say that mu naught epsilon naught is equal to 1 by c square, or I can say that c is equal to 1 by root over mu naught epsilon naught. So this is the relationship between the permeability and the speed of the light. Very important one. That mu naught epsilon naught is equal to 1 by c square, or c equal to 1 by root under mu naught epsilon naught. And just remember that the value of this mu naught by 4 pi is our 10 to the power minus 7 Tesla meter ampere inverse. This is the value. You have to remember this one. Okay.